But like start my own brand, like tequila or something,
Right.
like The Rock. Like how can I do that if I'm not The Rock?
You don't need to be The Rock. George Clooney I don't think he has social media, and he was able to sell.
But he's a movie star though.
That's true.
I'm not a movie star.
But still,
Not yet. At
he's
least.
not Mexican,
Yeah.
right? Tequila comes from Mexico, right? What does he know about agave? Probably not much, but he sold a brand.
Yeah.
So it's not about, if you're popular or not. It's about having the right people around you, and then you also got to know data.
Hey guys, welcome back to Driven Channel. And I'm here with a very, very special guest. We're very excited. We're like the same, like Mexican and Filipino. It's like it reminds me of the Marquez versus Pacquiao fight. But no, we're friends. We're cool and very interested and I can't wait to learn like how you did this. And for people watching this, because a lot of entrepreneurs watch this, a lot of minorities, a lot of Latinos, including Filipinos, like they watch this and they think like, hey, how is it possible that these two people like us, people like other people, that they're young but they create their own companies and they win big and they connect with all these big stars. I know that you're very close with Manny Pacquiao, Dave Chappelle, and many others. So I want to let you tell us how it all started. But I know that you were the founder and you're the CEO of your company Looptify, and Nate Yorando.
Yes, I love how you say my last name.
Tell us, like, first of all, like, what made you come up with that name, Looptify? What is Looptify? And how did you create this big circle with all these big names? And did you come from money, or did you come from a poor background? Like who is Nate Yorando too?
Well, that's a great question. It would be a movie just to talk about everything else, but I'm going to shorten everything for you guys.
Is it Nate Yorando? Is that how you say it?
It depends on what city I'm in. So
yeah,
it's either Yorando or Lorando. It really depends of the day or where I'm at, But if I'm in LA, it's Yorando today.
Okay.
So pretty much, I actually had a close friend of mine, who's also my business partner now. Used to play for the Golden State Warriors. Jason Richardson, slam dunk champion. So growing up, like throughout the years, I've always noticed he had like deals with like Reebok at first, and then Nike. But they weren't like big deals. Like LeBron had a very big deal with Nike. And I realized, what if he had resources to really start his own brand? Like, what would be the results? Then if you really look at it, a very, I would say, well-known in basketball, a family that's very well-known in basketball, it's the Ball family, right? A lot of people discredit the dad, LeVar, but because he's loud.
I think he's a genius.
I'd say the same. He's very supportive, and you can't find that in a father figure.
He's almost like the Kardashian mother.
Oh,
like
there you go. I agree, and I think they were very successful in figuring it out with a very limited time in growing the Ball family brand.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for like an implosion internally, I believe the brand would have been much bigger than what it was supposed to be. And they started that trend, but if you really look at other brands like Kanye West, they own majority of their IP. And that's our objective, is to help celebrities, not just celebrities, even creators, other brands that need help from product development to marketing to global distribution and even supply chain. And what we provide is the services. We like to be behind the scene. We don't want to be the brand, maybe later down the road, but for now we want to focus on the brands that we partner up with, the people that we partner up with, because they have the story, and every story is different, and stories can be sold. whether you're selling a merchandise or you're selling a tequila brand or you're selling a car, everything has a story. Why was it made? And people buy that. It's not about, ooh, this car goes 500 miles. You still got to pick which car that could go 500 miles an hour that you want to buy.
Yeah.
And you want to buy that story. Every time you ask someone, oh, why do you have a BMW instead of a Mercedes? That person will have a story.
Yeah.
Because of what BMW sold to that person. So that's what we plan on doing, and not just within LA, but the entire country as well. We're slowly expanding overseas, internationally, and we hope to just help everyone, really, because if you look at conglomerates like Nike, like they give you upfront money. Of course you would take that. Like, that's $100 million deal. If you say no to that, that's like a gamble too. But if you really look at what Kyrie Irving did, who left the brand, now he has a chance into probably becoming a billionaire if everything's executed properly. So we started this about 3 to 4 years ago, but I've been trying to do this for a very long time. So I had an exit prior to this, but this was already part of my life project.
Your first exit was a similar company, or what was that?
Actually, it was just a regular website back in college, man. I got paid cash, $30,000, and it was my second year in college. I said, you know what, I'll take it. It wasn't even a company yet. It was just a website that collected emails. So it was actually before Eventbrite came out.
So when you opened Looptify, you didn't have a lot of money. Like, you had a little bit of money?
Like, actually my mom worked like 3 jobs growing up. Like, she, we all came from like a farming environment to like the city in San Francisco, to where she had to put all 4 brothers in one room, smaller than this podcast room, actually. So we had 2 bunk beds. The living room was so small that I realized, like, damn, my mom works hard, like 3 jobs. My dad had a business also. And it kept us afloat. She never really, she wanted me to be in the medical field like every Filipino out there. But I decided to reinvent the process that they did. No disrespect to my parents. But, so far it's been successful, and, I'm hoping to achieve more milestones.
Yeah. Were you born in the Philippines or here?
Philippines.
Philippines.
Yeah.
So you came here when you were like how old?
30 plus years ago. About.
You're giving up your age now.
I'm sorry. Yeah. So very young age. Yeah. But I did go to the Philippines like like 2011, and I actually dealt with one of the billionaires over there, and man, I don't recommend, even if you're Filipino, I don't recommend to do business with any conglomerates over there, because they will not treat you the same way as how it is over here. It's much different when it comes to business. You will be on their time, like everyone's late, but I learned that, like it's, whether it's average person or a billionaire or just a regular business person, you kind of want to take those experiences and put it into one.
Yeah.
And to improving yourself.
What do you say that Manny Pacquiao is one of your biggest clients, or do you have other people that?
Boxing, Manny is probably the legendary living legend that we have, but we have Dave Chappelle as our number one brand that we manage, and they're both GOATs to me. Manny. Who
was the first biggest star that kind of maybe not made you, but made you a lot of money, where you were like, man, I'm getting all these clients, but then the client comes, like kind of like what Jordan did to Nike, what Kanye did with was it the Yeezy,
yeah.
And then what he did, we'll get into that after. But did you have a client where like he came and then all of a sudden you got a big payday, where with that you were able to like fund and grow your business more, market more, and grow more? Like, what was that? Because we all, at least I think that we all have we have that deal that we get, that it comes like at a weird moment, and then like we're like we could breathe again. It pays stuff that we needed to pay, and then we have a lot of extra money where we can invest it and grow even more. Did you have any moment like that where you got a client that all of a sudden you had a good payday, and then from there on you just took off?
Well, during the pandemic, it was a 50-50 chance, and it wasn't a client. We just had to pivot. Even our investors thought we were going to be done, for the rest of our business life. But I'm a Taurus. I'm stubborn. Like every time someone says no to me, I read it backwards and I read it as on. It's on.
So do you remember that day, like when COVID said you guys have to stay in the house, you can't come out, and it was like there was nobody in the streets.
Crickets.
Yeah.
Yes.
What was going on through your mind, and what was going on with your business right there?
Well, I couldn't sleep, so I called everyone that I knew that was in business, whether the $1 billion club or $100 million club, even the international people. Like, what are you guys doing these days? And a lot of them were doing PPE. And then when we were able to get contracts from the military or hospitals or even some of the basketball teams, I borrowed money. Borrowed $8 million, paid them $8 million plus $2 million on the margins. And that's how we were able to take off. On top of our number one brand, who's still going on tour. We haven't raised money since the first time we raised money in 2019.
So when you get $8 million though, how do you get $8 million? Do you just make a phone call and call your best friend and you're like, hey, can you send me $8 million?
Actually, it kind of happened like that. Obviously, they want to look at the contracts, the paperwork. Is this legit? We got to vet, the type of deal. But we had to use escrow, and with the escrow, we were able to finance everything else from Asia to here. It was a little bit tricky because, with ordering products from Asia, it was, pretty. A lot of people were hesitating, but we were like, you know what? This is much better than what we get here, than what we have here, and everyone was out of supplies.
Yeah.
So every hospital, every medical group, they needed to help not just their nurses or doctors, but they needed to help everyone to have all the PPE products that they needed.
Yeah.
And that's when we pivoted. Actually, I told our team the following month, hey, we're going to do this. And yeah, we were bidding, we were closing deals, we were making money. And just thank God we got lucky enough to pay everything back. And now here we are. We were able to leverage that into growing the company, and we're back to our regular business model.
Yeah. So what if you could explain what you do exactly? Mm-hmm. Do you do kind of like what Jordan was to Nike?
Well, Jordan was much bigger than Nike at that time. I think during that time, I believe Converse was one of the top shoe brands, and Adidas. What we do here at Looptify is we support the talent, whether they're entertainer, celebrity, musician, or even athletes, from product development to marketing their product to distributing their product, and make sure all of their fans from around the world get a hold of their merchandise. So we pretty much provide support for their entire brand. And our main goal is to make sure they own majority of their IP. Because the minute they no longer own that IP, they can do whatever with their name, image, and likeness, and they can sell it for more. And probably that company that paid them a lot of money, makes more money than them.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So with all your clients, you said they own the majority?
They own their own brand.
Oh, they own everything, yeah. 100%?
Yes, 100%.
So you're just kind of
just the support.
Okay.
Yeah, we're just behind the scene. We get interviews like this. I appreciate the interview, by the way, but we're the people behind the scene. So we don't want the highlight, the spotlight. We just want to be behind the curtains, make sure everything's done. Fans are happy, clients are happy, partners are, you know what, Nate, let me introduce you to this guy.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So somebody's watching this and they're like, they have a brand and they want to start a tequila company.
Mm-hmm.
a tequila brand and sell it, how do they hire? Do they reach out to you, and do you make a piece out of every tequila that sells, or do they pay you like a fee separate? How does it work?
So we do profit sharing with that. But majority of the margins.
So you don't charge? Do you charge a upfront like a fee, or it's just profit sharing?
Yeah. Well, we base it on data. So we mine data first to see how successful this person could be, because everyone wants to be a brand. Everyone wants to sell merchandise, but not everyone can convert. Only certain people can convert, and it requires time, commitment, and you got to stay strong-minded as well, because you got to think about it. You're not going to sell 200 units in your first launch. Coke didn't do it. Coke sold 8 bottles in first year? And look at them now. Like, I drink Coke almost every other day. But yeah, I think it requires all of those variables in order for them to really have a successful brand. And then they had to stick to their story, and they had to sell that story. If they don't have a story, just like one of those creators that post, bikini pictures or whatever the case may be, that's not sellable. Content, maybe you could sell those. You could sell that as content sales. But
what if they have a story but they don't have any social media followers?
Then I would partner up with someone that has social media followers, but not just anybody that has social media followers, but strong engagement. That's what they should do. I think Mr. Beast is already doing that model.
So like if somebody is social media followers the key to success right now, or do you think or can you help a brand that has no social media followers?
We've actually done both. Yeah, so we've done someone without social media, and that's Dave. He never had social media before he started with us.
But he's famous on TV though.
Yes, he's very famous.
So like if somebody without TV or social media,
no exposure at all?
Yeah.
Yes, we've done that as well. We're actually doing that currently with the starting quarterback for St. John Bosco. So we're gonna help him. Right now, it's all about him focusing on his career, his high school career, and we'll handle his brand on the side. And hopefully we can blow him out the water and make another story behind it.
Yeah. But you would say that if you have a large social media brand, and then if you add TV to that, then that's kind of like a slam dunk?
Not necessarily. You still have to have
engagement?
Conversion and engagement.
What do you mean by engagement? What is engagement?
Like, for example, like Kevin Hart, very engageable. He's always holding on to his phone. So he's holding, when he does selfie, he's holding on to his phone. You don't get to see that on TV, right? It's always like this camera right here and then here. Whereas Kevin Hart, he always holds his phone, and The Rock also does it. And they're very engageable. So whatever they sell, it's probably going to be most likely successful. Depends on, what market or demographic they're targeting. Yeah. So it has to make sense data-wise. And you have to understand your demographic. And that's when you target them, and then hopefully they convert.
What do you think about the Kardashian brand? Because I live here, we're in this area, right? We're on Sunset Plaza.
Yeah.
We got Hollywood Hills. We got all the hot spots here in West Hollywood. And every day, like wherever I go, because we go to a lot of hot spots, like I see beautiful, gorgeous girls that look like way better than Kardashian. a lot of girls look like Kim now. Like Kim, Kylie, like there's a lot of girls, they all look the same.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if you know what I'm saying.
I totally understand.
I go to the best restaurants, and like I see like 20 Kim Kardashians.
Yes.
Like, and better looking than her. Younger, better looking, but nobody knows who they are. They're just like, they followed the same procedures and they look the same, but nobody knows who they are. Why does Kim become a billionaire and all these other girls that get the same procedures done, they're not Kim? Like the brand, like how does that work?
Well, you got to have guidance too. And, I'm not a fan of the Kardashians, but I do follow their story. And it's a very successful story. I know a lot of my friends watch it. I've never seen an episode, but the mom provides guidance, and the mom probably has a lot of people around her to help the brand grow and make it a successful story, because you really think about it, name me one time that the Kardashians had bad publicity. You can't.
Only the sex video.
Well, that's the only time. That's it.
Yeah.
But that's what they...
Is that what made him famous? Or that was part of it? That got him attention, right?
The father was already a very notable lawyer. But I think that just helped them boost their popularity at a rapid rate.
But like,
and she capitalized on it.
But like, for example, like she just went off after that.
Yeah.
Like because I remember back then, you know, the video.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember that Ray J was famous too,
Yeah.
and he was like Moesha and Brandy,
Mm-hmm.
and so he was the famous one, not Kim.
Not Kim.
But then after that video, like he stays the same or less.
Mm-hmm.
But she just blows up.
Yeah.
Like how does that work? Like why did it benefit her, not him?
Well, the first thing, I don't think Ray J put her on a royalties contract. So if you're popular and dating somebody else that needs the popularity, you might want to put them on paper, because that's a lot of money that he missed out on. And,
Yeah.
you know, she's a billionaire now after she went public with Skim. So, but she capitalized on it. She had the right mentality. She always wanted more. She was never satisfied with what she was getting, whether it's in family or business or, you know, popularity or, you know, being notable.
Yeah.
She always seeked for more.
Yeah.
And that's a great thing about that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. I mean, that's how Kobe played basketball.
Yeah.
You know, he wanted to be that guy. After MJ, he wanted to have more rings than him.
Yeah.
So it's all about the hunger and probably like be ambitious.
Yeah. Now, Nate, if you're looking at somebody like me, like I'm not, like I haven't done any sex videos. Not that I know that they're out. Like I mean from the past, right? But I'm not on TV,
Mm-hmm.
but I do have a social media following. I don't have like millions of followers.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I'm pretty close to maybe one of them getting to 1 million pretty soon.
Mm-hmm.
But I have hundreds of thousands of followers on every platform, verified on all of them. But I'm more of a businessman. Like I'm an entrepreneur. I started 7 companies from scratch, but I don't have the TV stuff or none of that. So I do have a big following in the entrepreneur world from millennials and the Latino American community.
That's awesome.
So if I want to engage more, like what would you give to somebody like me, like just somebody in the entrepreneur space out there that's not really a celebrity, but you kind of became an influencer just with business success and just consistency, putting out content on social media. Like how can I engage more, and how can anybody, like other people like me that are just in the business space, entrepreneur space, how can they engage more to build a brand? Because I do want to build, I do want to create my own tequila. I don't know what I want to call it, but maybe like Bert Killa or something like that, or Albert Killa, or I don't know, something
Killa.
like that. But like start my own brand, like tequila or something,
Right.
like The Rock. Like how can I do that if I'm not The Rock?
You don't need to be The Rock. George Clooney I don't think he has social media, and he was able to sell.
But he's a movie star though.
That's true.
I'm not a movie star.
But still,
Not yet. At
he's
least.
not Mexican,
Yeah.
right? Tequila comes from Mexico, right? What does he know about agave? Probably not much, but he sold a brand.
Yeah.
So it's not about, you know, if you're popular or not. It's about having the right people around you, and then you also got to know data.
That's why I got you now.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
We'll talk more about it, but what I would recommend is, you definitely got to build that tequila brand. You know, don't even wait.
Not because I like champagne, but champagne wouldn't. It kind of won't click with a Mexican, right? A tequila would click better. Because what if I sell champagne and it's like Albert, the Mexican, with his champagne?
I would do it after. I would do it like, what do you call that? The dessert champagne, you know,
Yeah.
especially for the ladies. You could probably sell that to them, but tequila is probably the best bet, I would say. You know, that's my favorite tea,
Yeah,
tequila.
yeah.
So that's what I would recommend. Maybe partner up with another strong, I would say, business entrepreneur with a good amount of following, and then have someone that knows the Mexican soil to know that you get the best tequila, because not every tequila tastes good. You know, you might pay a little bit more, but only certain tequilas to me taste good. You know, I'm a tequila guy, so you know, I don't drink just a basic tequila.
There's this tequila, this round bottle that's really good.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. It's like
that's based here in Downey, actually.
Yeah.
I forgot the name.
You just have it on the rocks and it's really good.
Yeah. You gotta have the right bottling too.
Yeah.
You know, the right bottling, the right taste, and no hangovers. Like my favorite drink is Casa Dragonis, the Joven blend.
Yeah.
You could drink it like champagne, actually.
They make some good margaritas at Javier's with that.
Oh,
tequila.
wow. Yeah. So Casa Dragonis, no hangovers for me. Clase Azul too, if I'm with my friends, because they don't know anything about the Casa Dragonis.
Yeah. But so like just to get just to know, like to get an idea, to start a tequila brand, like how much do you need for that? Do you know more or less? Like maybe if I want to start my own, like,
maybe even nothing. If you partner up with someone that
because you're the master of that, huh?
Yeah,
relationships.
Yeah, relationships. You gotta have partners. You gotta have resources, and they might even invest their time with you and give you no upfront cost if you make them a partner.
Is that better than doing it yourself? You would say yes, right?
Well, you would cut your margins.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because you would have to give up a piece of your pie. It's a yes or no. It's good and bad. If you're looking like long term, probably good. But if you're looking for short term, then you gotta finance it.
Did Conor McGregor partner up with somebody, or did he do it? Do you know?
I'm pretty sure he has partners. There's no way he would know
The Rock, even The Rock.
110%. Like he has to know people in Mexico.
So we should partner then. I mean, I should look for somebody. Maybe you and me can partner with somebody. And
I actually know someone that makes tequila, and actually he asked me if I know someone that makes tequila. And I'm like, okay, well let me find someone that could benefit at the same time. You know, hopefully we can sell units of tequila, and
because that has high margins, right? Alcohol.
Yeah, but not just margins, but like I like it because I burn calories with tequila, you know, fast, and you know I have access to hospitality, whether it's the casinos in Vegas or here in Hollywood. You know, we could just have them distribute it and
like let's say if I get a partner for a tequila brand, would I get like 50% of it? Would it be like 30% of it or 10%? Like how small would my percentage be?
Well, you're the guy, so you're going to be the one pushing it. So I would probably recommend for you to not own less than 51%.
Okay, so 50.
You got to have controlling.
Even if they put up the money.
That's correct. Because the one that's going to put up the money, they're probably not going to push it. They're probably just investors, and they're not as committed to it, but they know they'll make money.
Yeah.
You know, they know the opportunity is there. So I'm pretty sure.
And to start a tequila company, would it be, you think it'll be like 1 million, 5 million, 10 million?
I don't know the metrics as far as like you financing it fully.
Yeah.
Because it costs a lot. If you are going to start it from the ground up, you got to have your factory. You got to have workers, and you got to know the people that know how to create the right blend for your tequila.
Yeah.
Right. So that costs a lot. So for someone like you or someone like making a brand, they normally reach out to me and find the resources to help them take that shortcut.
Yeah.
And also help them strategize on how to come up with the right blend.
Yeah.
Because they're the pros at it.
Yeah.
We're not the pros.
Yeah.
We're pros in like distribution and coming up with a plan and strategy. But, I would recommend just finding that right partner to make that for you.
And that's your expertise, right?
Yeah, that's what we do.
So let's start working on that. And then if you're watching this, maybe comment below, like, what do you think Albert should name his tequila? Like, give us some names,
I would call it Syl.
Syl?
Yeah.
I like that.
The Syl tequila. Sell it.
Well, that's my wife's name.
I know.
Syl,
that's why I said I would call it Syl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Put a little hyphen at the end.
We're already making money, and we're just 28 minutes in.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Your favorite tea in the morning, your favorite tequila at night.
Yeah.
That's it.
100%. So like a question now, Looptify. Looptify. When did you start it? Like when was it?
Well,
found it?
I took the name in 2018, and then launched it in 2019, and then 6 months later, COVID hit. So we had to pivot as fast as possible, and we were burning a lot of money the first year because we were doing a lot of process eliminations.
Yeah.
Like, which one works? Do these creators convert? And do these products convert with the creator? And we had to learn that. We learned the hard way. I actually fired everyone on my staff and restarted.
Yeah.
Because they were all just hanging out. And I hired a bunch of friends. And I'm like,
I think that happens to everybody.
yeah, so, and then sometimes your friends would take advantage of that. Like, oh, yeah, my friend's the CEO. He's not going to fire me. But I had to do. Sometimes you just got to do whatever it takes.
So from when you started the company, you don't have anybody left from when you started, or you still have like one or two people left?
There's one left from the second team.
Oh.
And she's now my president of the company. And she knows the company from
So
A
only
to Z.
one made it from the beginning stage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now we're over 22 plus here
I don't-
and then 80 all over the world.
I don't think I have anybody here now from when I started the company.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Nobody.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. But it's crazy how it happens when you transition. When
Right. Well, not everyone has that mentality of a startup mentality, right? Because you don't go to school, or you don't go to college and take startup lessons.
Yeah.
Because the best startup lesson is actually doing it hands-on and fail as much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because if you don't fail, you're not on the right path to success.
Yeah.
You had to fail as many times. You take those experiences and make sure you don't repeat those same exact mistakes.
What do you think was the biggest lesson you learned, and also the biggest problem you had when you went from, let's say, a small mom and pop to when you grew and you became more professionalized? So when you professionalized your business and became more corporate.
Are you talking about Looptify now, or as an individual?
No, as the company.
Because
Because like the process when like you had your people in the beginning, then none of them are left except one, and now you have a bunch of new people, and I'm pretty sure that now your business is more like corporate,
Structured,
right? It's more structured, professional. Like when you started and then you did you had the transformation. Like, what was like maybe one thing or the biggest thing that you learned or problem that you dealt with?
I wouldn't say biggest, because they're easy to me now. But I would probably say not having a structure, not creating deadlines, and then not having a sense of urgency.
Were you too nice?
At first, yeah. I had to learn. Actually, I had to learn from Kobe, actually. I just said one thing. I said, say less. I'm going to embed that in the back of my head. And here I am. I'm not mean. I'm not nice. I'm just very straightforward, because my time is valuable.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure their time is valuable. I'm not going to beat around the bush and sugarcoat everything. I have to tell them what the truth is, so that way they can grow faster. And if they can't take the truth, then they can't take any truth from any other companies or any other work environment.
You don't have any people that started with you that kind of backstabbed you or did you dirty?
Oh, there's a lot, man. I mean, I had friends that, use me and things like that, but it happens. You just got to learn how to embrace the good the same way as you embrace the bad. Because if you have a very high of your good and then your bad is very low, you crash much harder.
Yeah.
So you had to embrace both at the same level, so that way you won't be as emotional when it hits you. Because everyone's emotional.
Yeah.
But you really have to master your subconscious in order for you to overcome your emotions. And it takes a while. Like it took me a long time. I mean, I had to listen to Tony Robbins, and even that, I was still a little bit emotional. Now, you really just gotta practice, and then you make habits, and habits make greatness or success. Yeah. So really just practice embracing the the good and the bad the same way.
Did you ever have people that left, whether in good terms or bad terms, that reached out to you later when they saw you like, oh, now he's doing better, like, let me reach out, let me come back?
Actually, yeah, we had a few people that wanted to come back, but my president of operations, she is kind of like, almost like me, but you know, she always stops me and look, nope, we can't rehire them, you know. But I still talk to some of them.
Why can't you rehire them?
In life, you only get one shot. So you have to really maximize, capitalize, whether it's meetings, whether it's a business opportunity. You really don't want to sit on it, because that means they didn't really believe in it in the beginning, which a lot of people, majority of the people do. So if they didn't believe in it in the beginning, then why would they believe in it when it comes to like the hardships? When it comes to really the going down to nitty and gritty, they probably didn't even believe in themselves.
You feel like kind of like, because I say this all the time, but some people agree with me, some people don't. I feel like a quitter one time is a quitter for life.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like a liar one time is a liar for life. Cheater one time is going to be a cheater for life. And I'm not saying that every single person in the world, I'm sure that there's one or two people that, you know, they get a second chance and they rectify.
Mm-hmm.
But I also think that, I mean, for the most part, if somebody is a liar, they're just gonna be a liar forever, and like that's just the way I see it. So like, because I have a similar policy. Like, I allow people to come back, but really, really exceptions. Like people that didn't leave in bad terms, people that just maybe they didn't know any better, or they were under a certain other team member that took him and brainwashed them. Then they come back and they're like, oh man, you know what? They lied to me. But people that leave in bad terms because they did something unethical. Like, I don't take them back.
Yeah.
Because if they did it one time, I feel like they're going to do it again.
You shouldn't. No one should. Why would you take that? Like, you're just wasting your time.
Yeah.
You know, like we had one of our executives that wanted to go back to school to, you know, she already had 2 master's degree and she wanted a 3rd one. And I said, hey, you know, I wish you the best, but I can't promise you the position's going to be yours by the time you come back, by the time you get that diploma. And, you know, she's still reapplying, and she's far off from everyone else because the marketing type of character that we're looking for now is more of a startup.
Yeah.
You know, like the one that knows how to pivot. You know, if something fails, do they learn how to get back up? If you get knocked down, that's fine. You got to accept it. But the question is, can they get back up?
Yeah.
How do they get back up? And those are the type of characters that we're looking for. Yeah. They're really strong minded, and we have a lot of women in our team, and you know, sometimes
women are the best.
Very organized, very structured, to keep you in line. You know, sometimes I don't know all the answers every time, so I do go back to my executives, and most of them are women. When I ask and they tell me, like, Nate, this is what we should do. But
I feel like women are easier to be led. Like, I feel like women listen more, and women respect men more. And they're very coachable for the most part, because there are exceptions to everything in life. But I feel like men are harder to lead because they have bigger egos. Then they do good a little bit. They think they're better, and they're like and it just becomes like an egomaniac crew. But you know, like, I'm not saying all of them, but I like dealing with women much better. I think it's a lot easier.
110%. To be quite frank, I never looked at any of my staff's resume. Keep that between us, but I go for their hearts.
Yeah.
When I ask questions, sometimes they're hard, sometimes they're easy, but they all correlate to having the will or having the hunger or having that heart.
Yeah.
Because I've seen my one of my executives from this level to like at that age too, like. At her age, I don't think I was at the level that she was on, you know, but I train my staff, whether they're executives or the people below them, I train them to get to the level that I'm on. So by the time they get to that level, I can see where I was at.
Yeah.
Because I'm already on the top, above them. Because it just pushes me up all the way.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to let anybody, you know, surpass me or surpass the knowledge that I know, because I like to also learn more. But how do I learn more if I'm hanging out with a bunch of average people? You're learning average shit.
Yeah.
Excuse my language. I'm not sure if I was supposed to curse, but
hey, curse
yeah. So that's pretty much
our podcast is rated R. So,
oh, perfect, perfect, awesome. Yeah. So pretty much just you got to have really successful people that will guide you from A to Z.
So talk about your circle. Like how does your circle now? I know you hang out with Dave Chappelle, Manny Pacquiao, and people like that. Like who do you spend your time with? Like what do you do on the weekends? What do you do for fun?
Well, everything I do is fun. You know, whether it's working or working out or working at the beach or having dinner, I look at everything as fun. You know, even if I'm not getting what I'm supposed to get, I still look at it like in a good way. Because like what I said, I got to embrace everything in the same way.
What about when you have a shitty day though?
Man, normally I just get a massage, to be honest, man. I get massaged like 3 times a month. That's my longest relationship. She's been my masseuse for 8 years. Yeah, and I'm the next day, recalibrate, get right back to work. You know, I don't nothing fades me, except for God, obviously. You know, I gotta make sure he gets my respect because he's the ultimate power. But as far as like people that I work with, I treat everyone the same, but I treat them the way I want to be treated. But if they treat me a different way, I give it right back. That's what Looptify is kind of like about too.
Yeah. Do you hang out with your employees, your salespeople?
I take them to lunch all the time. Actually, I'm getting kind of tired of it because I pay the bill. You know, I buy, they fly, so they gotta drive me. And yeah, I do hang out with them, get to know them a little bit more. You know, I took most of our staff to Chappelle show last night, and you know, at first one of the new guys was like, "What kind of seats are you getting, Nate?" And I'm like, "They're tickets, bro. They're free." You know, it's like, but I told him, I think we're nosebleeds. Then he goes, "You don't get love like that?" And I was like, "No, I meant you. You're sitting in the nosebleed." But he was on the floor yesterday. It was 4 rows back, and he was very excited. You know, and then he was very, very hyped, and he's still talking about it earlier this morning. And I'm like, "Bro, let's get to work. Let's get things done."
Yeah.
But you know, I like to surprise people. I don't like people because it's very.
What about entitlement though? What about when people get entitled and they expect you to fly them private and buy them Chanel purses?
We deal with a lot of those.
Rolexes and all that stuff.
Yeah, we deal with a lot of those, man. I just put them right back to earth, to be honest.
Yeah.
You know, if they ask for that, like, hey, we don't have that type of budget. I don't even own any premium brands. I don't own a wallet. I don't own any Louis or Gucci. I don't own any of that. Yeah. I just be myself, really. You know, but I tell them like, hey, you might be used to this type of treatment, but this is Looptify. This is your brand that we're pushing. This is not our brand.
Yeah. You
know, you should be paying us if anything, but we're giving you the free service because it comes with the partnership. Right? It comes with it.
Yeah.
So we just like to be transparent with them and, you know, not waste their time.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to allow them to do that, who knows? She might ask for a Range Rover to be part of her contract, you know, and we're not that. We're not the brand. We're just the service platform.
Yeah.
You know, we provide the staff that would make them look good.
Yeah.
Whether it's social media, whether it's their products, whether it's their website or the app that we're on. And that's what we do. We just keep it transparent with everyone.
Yeah. Hey, Nate, how does your typical day look like? Like, what do you do Monday through Friday versus Saturday and Sunday? Do you have a specific time you wake up? Do you sleep a lot, sleep a little bit? Are you working all day long? Like how is your typical Monday through Friday and then Saturday and Sunday?
That's a great question. I don't really look at the days as Monday to Friday. I just look at it when I'm going to get the job done, when I'm going to get the task done. So sometimes I do work. You know, I come into work, whether it's 9 a.m. or 10 or 11, but my phone calls start at like 7 a.m. because East Coast is already 10 a.m. And then I go to sleep like 4 or 5 o'clock. So sometimes I get 3 hours of sleep, 2.5 hours from Monday to Friday. And then
really? So you sleep like 2-3 hours Monday to Friday?
Yes, but I do have a trick. I've already mastered this.
Take a nap?
I don't take naps. I drink a lot of coffee. I sleep in on Sundays. I got to have at least 8 to 9 hours of sleep. And only on Sundays. not until football season comes back. So really, I'm on like running on fumes because I love football, man. I gotta have my teams winning, and I'm a numbers guy, so I like to look at the final scores at the end of the games.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's sleep. I'll sleep when I'm dead. That's it, really. Like as long as I can be functional, I'll be right back to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And then relationships. Like how do you because I think most businesses that grow big, a lot of it has to do with resources and relationships. You've definitely have the relationships. So like how does one go and get in front of Manny Pacquiao and make him a friend and a client, and same thing with Dave Chappelle and many other, because me and you before we started, we were talking about like other big names that it's private stuff and you can't really talk about, but big things in the works for you that you have going on. So like how do you do that? Like because like how come nobody else can go out there and get Manny Pacquiao and Dave Chappelle and all those big names? How do you do it? Who was your first and how'd you do it? That way everybody that's watching this can go out there and do it.
Well, there's going to be a lot of people that will pitch to these type of people, and you just got to really stand out. You can't pitch the same exact thing to that person because he probably has heard it like 10 million other times. You have to really focus on your strengths, and then you sell that to them. You don't want to sell your brand. You sell yourself. The minute you're able to sell yourself, then anybody would like you, right? Because it's not about, people say like, oh, it's about the people that you know. It's not about that. It's about the people that you know that likes you. Yeah. So you got to have both. And I didn't just meet people by just DMing them. It's about relationships, introduction to another introduction to another introduction. And before you earn that relationship and make that relationship grow, you have to be able to do something for those type of relationships, whether you go above and beyond for them, whether they have issues that they couldn't come up with a solution for. And then you tell them, listen, let's focus 1% on the actual issue. The rest of the 99% will be focused on the solution. And you work together. And the more problems you solve, the more introductions you'll get. Yeah. And that's what it is. Like really, you just focus on the outcome, the result, especially if it helps your. So you always give before you ask? You got to. You can't just take. Like you got to look at, like our logo has a boomerang on that little bike. And that boomerang is pretty much what you throw goes right back to you. It's karma, right? If so you believe in karma then? 1,000,000%. Yeah. Yeah. Because if you do something bad to people, that will eventually go back to you. But if you do great for people, it'll go 10 times more. You'll receive 10 times greater things. So I fully believe in that. At first I wasn't. And I was like, I didn't believe in this. Now it's like, I got to do it. Yeah. Even if it doesn't pay me, like I'm helping some girls like help all of these sexually trafficked women, which I'll discuss later. But we're formulating that. And I said, there's no money in it for us, but I'm here for you. Because at the end of the day, we're all humans. We all deserve to live. And I think especially younger women, they haven't seen the entire life yet. So we just want to provide that bridge. And hopefully they cross that bridge. If they stay at the other side of the bridge, that's fine too. Yeah. But as long as you provide the bridge, that's the true fulfillment to me. Like anything else, like I don't focus on money. You just got to do everything correctly. You got to do it right, and money will always come. Yeah. You can't do shortcuts. You can't do, anything that will get you in trouble. You just got to focus on the good, and money will always come. Trust me. Did you have any mentors that taught you all of this? How to like start this your company and like who was your mentor along this way? I have a few. I have a good circle that keeps me in line and also give me great advices as far as, how to grow a company, how to maintain a company, how to even make it stronger. One of them is one of our investors. She's the only venture capitalist that actually invested in the company, and they don't invest in a startup. They invest in Series A startups, not the angel investor startup. And the co-founder of Forever 21, I talk to him every time. And I have a good friend of mine. He now coaches for the Atlanta Hawks, and he's the one that inspired me into reading books. And I read, I listen, podcasts, Tony Robbins, yourself as well. Really just having that right circle and ask them questions.
Yeah.
If you don't ask questions, you're not going to get any further. You have to ask questions.
What about people that think that their questions are stupid and they don't want to ask questions because they don't want to look stupid?
The only stupid question is the question that you don't ask. In my book, at least. You got to ask a question. There's no such thing as stupid question. But if you don't ask, to me, that's stupid. At least to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A question about Manny Pacquiao, because I love that guy. How did you meet him?
Actually, I met him a long time ago. I met him like 2013, 2014. A friend of mine was one of his right-hand people. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And then next thing you know, now his day-to-day guy, I stayed in touch with him. And when he was coming here and I realized that he was no longer with ANTA, then I pitched the opportunity. And in addition, when they brought up the Manny Pacquiao Foundation and the objectives that they have is like to house sexually trafficked kids, sexually trafficked women. And I think Manny also partnered up with Dustin Poirier to build homes for African women in Africa. And they build a certain amount of homes, and now he's doing it in the Philippines. And I really like their ethos, and it aligns with ours. Me personally.
Yeah.
So I said, let us help you. We'll donate some to your foundation as well. Like, not everything is all about monetary. It's all about, just the self-fulfillment and being able to help those people, even though we've never even met those girls.
Yeah.
Right? Or the kids. But to us, mentally, we know there are kids out there getting the help through Manny Pacquiao. And that guy's a super nice guy, man. I'm not gonna, say anything else about that guy, but he's just a nice guy and likes to give back. And that's what makes him great. On top of being one of the greatest boxers of all time. You know? So hopefully he becomes president soon in the Philippines, in his own country, but he has to be done strategically.
So you clicked with him from the beginning?
Not click with him because it was just a quick meet and greet, but when you meet people, you could know this guy's a good guy. You can tell.
Because he changed, right? He was like, he used to like to party and then he stopped partying.
Yeah, for sure.
You met him after he stopped, like when he was
after he stopped. Like around 2013.
He was already but at that point he had already retired from the party.
From that,
because I remember he talked about it on shows.
I actually went to his casino in the Philippines because a friend of mine who I went to high school with was one of his right hand people.
Yeah,
and then it's like, hey, I'm at Manny's casino, and I was like, what? Manny has a casino? So that's when that was 2011 when I went to the Philippines to try to do business, and so I went there and Manny was there. He was the main attraction. He was playing pool, being the life of the party and making sure everyone's happy. Yeah. I don't know how to play pool or else I would have played him, but I'll play him chess anytime. 3-minute blitz. Yeah. I actually played with his son, and I love his son, man. That kid is very independent too. So the junior.
Yeah. So to wrap up here, like, how do you feel about people that criticize you? Because I don't know if you have any like haters or people that make fun of you or criticize you. Mm-hmm. I have a lot. I know most people that do well have a lot. do you have any people that criticize you or criticized you when you were starting up and still now?
Oh, yeah.
And how do you deal with criticism and people that hate on what you're doing?
Well, first, that's going to come from friends and family. And I learned from that, right? You know, you'll really find out who your true friends and family are when you start a business.
Yeah.
But I embrace the haters. I embrace everyone that doesn't like me, because without them, I don't get any fuel to my fire. I'm just the fire. They're the fuel. They give me more reasons to even more, like, to get hungry even more and have the will, like, to make sure, because if you're not doing anything right, no one will talk shit about you. So you should embrace them, like, oh man.
So if you don't have any haters, then that's a problem.
That's a problem. Like, no one really cares about what you do. You know, the haters care more about you than themselves. So that's why they're hating on you. So you got to embrace that and tell them, hey, hit on me more. Right? You got to think about it. Like, that's just how humans are.
Mm-hmm.
They end up hating you first, then they like you after. That's what Jesus did. They hated Jesus. They thought he was a liar, right? They fabricated his image. It's like fake news all over, right? And Jesus died for our sins, and next thing you know, came right back. He still forgave them.
Yeah.
You know, because at the end of the day, we're all humans, and we don't have the power to do whatever to them.
Yeah.
You know, we just let our lives live and embrace them, man. Like,
embrace your haters.
yeah, don't stoop to their level.
Yeah.
Shake their hands. It's like, hey man, I appreciate your hating on me. All the hating comments. Without you, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
All right. Because tell me, if no one's hating on you, would you be motivated?
I would feel like a loser.
Yeah.
If I
Right.
didn't have any haters.
You have no reason to live. Like, you got to be hated. Kim Kardashian is hated by a lot of people. But guess what? She's a billionaire. They can talk all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, her bank account is what's helping her.
Yeah, every
Yeah.
hater adds more paper.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Floyd has a lot of haters.
Yeah.
But man, that man is a smart dude, man. Like, one of the smartest guys. And people probably don't even know it. You know, his portfolio is amazing. You know, he's talked about it. And that guy's actually very well calculated. And he leveraged his haters. They still bought his pay-per-view.
Yeah.
You know, and people pay for it.
Well, the haters are your biggest fans.
Yeah, that's true. They finance your whatever venture.
I feel I would be depressed if I didn't have any haters.
Yeah,
I'd probably be
I
like
agree.
under my covers, like crying.
I'll just be watching Netflix and not do anything, man. Just eat my ice cream, really.
Yeah.
But you gotta have.
Because if you think
haters.
about like girls, like ugly girls, they don't have haters. But all the super hotties, they have a lot of haters.
Ugly girls got haters too. The uglier girls than them, you know. So everyone has a hater. Yeah. So
Yeah.
It's just the matter of how you accept the hatred,
Yeah.
you know. Because without hatred, man, there's no purpose of living.
Yeah.
You got to
Well, if you're watching this, take some notes. If you don't have a haters, that's a big problem.
gain some
Get some haters.
or buy some.
and you'll get more success. So what one final thing, what is one thing that you never shared to the public that you want to share here to our driven family that nobody knows about Nate?
About me,
Yeah,
that
something funny or some story you never shared.
I'm actually pretty funny, man. Like, if you talk to me, I could crack jokes. Maybe I'll start my own stand-up soon. I don't know. But I like playing chess, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I purposely, not everyone
Can you
knows.
beat Tate? He's a chess player.
Possibly. His dad was only a 2200 rated grandmaster. But I like Andrew, actually, you know, especially that he's tight with his brother. You can't find that in a family. You know what I mean? Like, you're either hating your own brother or you don't get along with your family. But Andrew and his brother, they're very tight with each other. And that's hard to find.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be raised well. So I know for a fact his dad raised him well. It's kind of like Floyd, right? Like, if you look at Floyd's kids, they're very taken care of. Manny's kids. It's all about the parents. You know, like Andrew Tate, I'll probably beat him. If he's probably like a 1700 type player. But what I do normally on the app is I purposely lose for like 6 games, and I would be like a 2,000 or 2,200 rated type of player, and then realize, oh man, I just lost to a 1,100 rated player. But yeah, I like to be the underdog. I don't like to show all my cards. You know, just play dumb and with a room of smart people.
So you win money like playing chess?
Fulfillment, man. No money. I mean, I do play for money. Like I learned this in New York. This one guy, man, he hasn't lost for 6 months. I went to New York, and his friend said, oh, he hasn't lost in 6 months. I'm like, okay, let me play. $10. I purposely lost. Then he went up $100. He takes his queen out. And I said, you know what? I'll take my queen out too. He's like, are you sure? And I said, yeah. And then I actually took a picture with him. And then I beat him. And then he goes, man, you hustled me. It's like, you hustled me the first game. What's the difference? Right? So, yeah, I beat him. And then the guy was laughing. His buddy was laughing. It's like, oh, man, you just got hustled in your own game. And then he tried to play the third game. It's like, no, man, Subway's already coming up. I got to take my train. Good to meet you. Appreciate your game. And yeah, but he was a pretty good player too. But he talked a lot of shit. Like all the players over there, they talk a lot of smack. Yeah. But you just got to stay focused. But, you know, he offered his queen. I would have easily beaten him. But I told him I'll take my queen out too. So keep it even.
Well, if you're a chess player, stay away from Nate if you don't want to lose, you know. But Nate, where can people follow you and find you? What's your favorite app?
Looptify app is my favorite, bro. We're relaunching that soon. But I like Instagram for business. You can follow us on Looptify Co, which is our company. And I'm on Simple Legend, which is my personal. I try to talk a lot of smack on there, so bear with me.
Yeah, awesome. So we'll put the links below. Nate, has been a pleasure. Thank you.
Appreciate your time. Thank you.